What's up guys, I'm Brogan, and today in this video we are diving into a budget-friendly compact powerhouse mini PC today. This right here is the AceMagician AM06 Pro mini PC, packing an AMD Ryzen 7 5825U processor that's 8 cores, 16 threads, with speeds up to 4.5 gigahertz. We have 16 gigabytes of RAM and a speedy 512 gigabyte SSD installed within, running Windows 11 Pro. So at the end of the day, what makes this little box right here special? For a mini PC, it delivers real performance for everyday computing, creative work, and even, yes, gaming. We're talking about snappy multitasking, quick boot ups, and surprisingly confident integrated graphics thanks to the AMD Radeon RX Vega 8 graphics here. Now I have significant experience with the graphics here, and paired with the other specs, I think we're going to get some decent gaming potential out of this. So today in this video, I'm going to unbox it. I'm going to show you guys the layout and design of the unit itself. We're going to dive into a bunch of different games on here, and we're going to test out the gaming performance on this mini PC here that goes for under 300 bucks. Let's dive into it. All right, guys, here is the box. We're going to go ahead and start opening this up. It's nicely put together. We've got the mini PC wrapped up right here. We're going to set that aside. Let's go into the side compartment here. Actually, we'll open up the whole thing. We've got a one-part Type-C power supply cable located right here. We're going to go ahead and set that aside. We've got our HDMI cable that's provided as well. So everything right there is available to get this up and running instantly. We've got a mounting bracket right here, so you can install this on the back side of a monitor if you wanted to. You can install this on the outside of a desk. You can install this on the back side of an arcade cabinet if you wanted to use this for powering your arcade cabinet. Lots of different ways to use this and just kind of consolidate space. We've got our user manual right over here. We've got some set screws. Now these set screws would be great for securing this to the actual bracket right here. And then we also have a ribbon cable right here, which enables us to actually internally install an additional SSD or hard drive. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put that in the bottom right here. We're going to go ahead and pack everything back up. Now let's dive into the actual mini PC itself. So this right here is the front panel. This is all plastic. It's a very sleek and lightweight design here. I won't say it's the most durable. Now you'll notice that the power button is located right here on the corner. Functions beautifully. My only concern with this, and I've reviewed several mini PCs that share the same location of the power button, if you were to drop this and it were to land like this and it landed hard enough on that corner, you could damage the power button and then you render your entire unit totally useless. So it does concern me. I actually prefer the power button on the front panel there, just not only for easy access but also for keeping it safe and secure. Something like this, you have that potential of it dropping, unfortunately, and doing some damage there. So a little bit concerning. Across the front panel, we have our audio jack cable connection. We have two USB 3 ports, which are obviously USB-A, and then we have our USB 4 Type-C port right on the other end right there. So that's everything right on the front panel. Good access to different, connecting controllers, flash drive, external hard drive, all that good stuff. Easy access as a gamer. I love that. On the right hand side, no ports. We have a little bit of ventilation down here at the bottom. Other side here, a little bit of ventilation at the bottom, but this is a great design. No pun intended. It does have a great sort of, feel to the top and side here, but it's not actually ventilation. It might look like it to the naked eye, but there's no cuts in this, and there's minimal cuts on the side. So not sure how the airflow is. If we take a look at the back side, though, we do have a little bit of airflow up here at the top. We also have our power supply Type-C connection right there, so that's where our power supply cable is going to connect over. We have an HDMI port, we have a display port, and we have two additional USB-A ports on here. So these aren't USB 3, but these are great for connecting a keyboard, a mouse, and then just kind of tucking those connections over to the back side there where you don't have to access it on a regular basis. Now, if we flip this over to the bottom side, we do have great ventilation down here. It doesn't look like those are connected through, but if you angle it, you can see right up and in here, and it is very much ventilated on all sides. So we also have our mounting screw holes right over here. And then to access everything internally, underneath each of these, or actually built into each of these rubber feet here, is a set screw that enables you to open the bottom panel here. And we're going to do exactly that. It's Phillips heads. So I'm going to grab my screwdriver. We're going to open this up and take a look inside. All right, I went ahead and removed all 4 of those screws and actually used this Gerber multi-tool right here, which I use on a daily basis for so many different things. There's a Phillips head screwdriver built into this. You can go ahead and flip it back in, but there's little knives. There's a flathead screwdriver built into this. You have pliers built into this as well. You have knives. You have scissors built in here. These scissors are super sharp and effective right here. Love this. I carry this with me every single day in my jeans, and I use this every single day for literally everything, and it has a little clip on here too. So if you want to pick up something like this or similar to this, click the link in the description of the video as well. I use this daily, swear by it, love it. Now let's dive into this mini PC. So right here we can go ahead and lift that bottom panel. Always be careful, there's no ribbon cables or anything like that here, but I'm always super careful when I open these up. We have an open concept in here for sure. You can see we have our SSD located right over here. It's an M.2. We have our RAM over here on the side, so if you wanted to go in here and make any adjustments, you can easily do that. Now you'll notice though that there is not another slot over here for another SSD, but remember that we do have that cable that was provided inside the box with our mini PC, and here it is right here. So if you wanted to go ahead and install this, there's a slot right over here where you can install the ribbon cable right inside here, and then you can actually connect over an SSD. In fact, I actually have an SSD right here, so it shows you how it connects right here. You make that SATA connection right there. You go ahead and plug that in, and on the bottom side of the lid, you'll notice that there is a spot for you to install that SSD right in here. So there's little screw holes on the side where you can secure the SSD or hard drive right in place. It's got to be a 2.5-inch SSD or hard drive like this though, in order for it to sit in there and secure it properly. But then we just simply go ahead and drop that in place. We put our set screws back in and we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and fire this up. We're going to test out a bunch of games on here and see what the performance is.
15 love.
Battle 2. Fight!
Eat this! Eat this!
That sure is fun.
Alright guys, we just checked out the AceMagician AM06 Pro Mini PC, and man, the first thing I noticed here, honestly, was the price point. I looked at the specs and I kind of figured, okay, for 2025, which we have to remember, 2025 prices have increased quite a bit on mini PCs. I figured the price value here would be like $350 to $399. If it was priced anywhere in there, I think it's a fair price point. This thing is selling right now, at the time of this recording, $269.99, which blew me away. Now, I looked at the specs again. We don't have the best processor. We have a good processor, not a great processor. We have good speeds, not great speeds. We have good graphics, not great graphics on here. So I figured, okay, this is going to be a PS2 N64 Dreamcast, maybe GameCube. That's about it, mini PC. This far exceeded those expectations. We can play Switch on here. We can play PlayStation 1, 2, and 3 on here. We can even play some modern-day PC titles. We can play Xbox on here. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, is the performance perfect with all of these collections? Absolutely not. It's very good, especially when considering that lower price point, but it's not perfect. In PS3, Nintendo Switch, I did notice screen tearing. I would say it's moderate screen tearing. It's not enough to ruin the experience. It's not enough to make it unplayable, but you do notice it. If you know what you're looking for, you will see screen tearing here and there. It's not going to be consistent. It'll be intermittent. And again, at that price point, though, I do think that it is low enough where we have to adjust our expectations. My expectations were PS2 and below. We're able to get PS3 and below. So that's pretty significant. We were able to get into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. Perfect experience there, in my opinion. We jumped into Little Nightmares, which neither of these games, even though they're somewhat relatively newer titles, they are by no means advanced. Now, is this a huge win for this mini PC? Not necessarily a huge win, but it is nice to see that you can get some modern day PC games running on here. So I'm really impressed at that price point. Now, in terms of layout and design, I immediately highlighted the fact that I hate that the power button is on the corner of this. And I want to report back to you guys, pretty much every time I grabbed onto this mini PC with one or two hands to make adjustments to whatever I'm connecting over to it. I used a couple hard drives today, external connections, and every time I grabbed it to plug something in or remove something, I hit that power button and I turned the thing off while it was already booted up. So it's just poor placement. Not even just from, a fall standpoint. If you were to drop this and it fell to the ground, you run the risk of it landing on that corner and damaging the power button, as I mentioned. But just placement in general, when you go to grab this or make adjustments to it, I hit that power button probably 7 out of 10 times. So just not a fan of that at all, for more reasons than I thought originally. But let's talk about the cooling on here. The cooling on here is okay. After playing this for a couple hours, it was warm to the touch. It's not one of those, cooling systems in a mini PC where after hours you're like, whoa, this thing is almost cold. That's not going to be the case here. This does heat up. It does warm up. Not to the point where I think it's going to be a problem, but it's not the most efficient cooling system by any means. You do hear this rev up from time to time, not all the time, but every now and then if you're playing those more demanding titles, you will hear this kind of rev up and then simmer back down. So, it's not going to be something that rivals a $500, $600, $700 mini PC by any means. It's $269, and I think that the value is good up to about we'll say $375 if we're going to be conservative. $399 wouldn't really drive me nuts, but $375 I would say is what I would assign the value to this. So at $269.99, I'm not going to pick it to pieces just because there is screen tearing here and there. I think it's a great option for those that are okay with the trade-off of, okay, there's going to be some screen tearing here and there. It's not going to be the best graphics on here, but it's going to get me through those games at a budget price point that is very much affordable. So pick and choose whether it's right for you. If you want to spend a little bit more money, there's some other options out there, obviously, that are better, but this is going to save you some money. And if you just want to play those retro titles that this handles perfectly, it is a solid win for you right here. So to learn a little bit more about this product, click the links in the description of this video. That is going to do it for today, but be sure to hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about this budget-friendly option from AceMagician. Is it worth it to you? Would you pay $269.99 and give them a pass on some of the screen tearing that you get with certain collections? Or do you think you should just spend a little bit more money and get something that's a little bit more powerful with better graphics? Hit me up in the comments. Let me know. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.